All right, Amazon. Yeah, that's another all-time high, yada, yada. You're getting used to this, right? It's Cyber Monday. This is the latest excuse to say the stock is soaring again, the latest reason why. Right now, Jeff Bezos is the world's richest man on paper, worth in excess of $100 billion. Barron's.com editor-at-large, Jack Otter here to crunch all of that and what's going on with Amazon. It is leading the way. Its fulfillment centers busy as all get at. And here we go again.
And they're good at it.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
All the retailers now are trying to catch Amazon. Walmart has bought Jet.com, and everybody's working on getting more efficient. And I think they're making gains. The problem is that Amazon has sort of become the search engine when you want to buy something now.
It really has, yeah. And it's almost the default when you get it. In other words, if you were to just Google an item that you're interested in buying, well, lo and behold, there's Amazon mentioned.
Exactly. So it is tough to catch up, I think. And also, you know, I would have said a couple years ago, well, at least brands are strong, right?
Right.
People want their Jif peanut butter or their Tiffany ring. But now, because of online reviews and so forth, brands are even losing their power. And that's yet another thing in favor of Amazon.
You know, you and I were talking about prior, is this idea that as, you know, sort of cemented in our culture, buying stuff online has become, it is still a very, very small part of overall retail sales, including Amazon, $1 in $10 associated to stuff bought online. So it's a lot of room for growth.
Yeah, there's a ton of room for growth. They will obviously continue. We're seeing the transformation of malls as they realize they're just not going to have those anchor department stores anymore. And there's an interesting story in the Journal recently about how they used to not like to have gyms in there, you know, fitness centers. They thought that was too downscale.
Yeah.
And now they're inviting the fitness centers in because someone goes for a workout. Maybe they'll pick up something at a store on the way out.
What do you think of this holiday season shaping up to be? At the outset, Jack, we're getting a sense from a lot of analysts that some of this might be people pre-spending their tax cuts, which makes you wonder if something goes wrong. What do you think?
I haven't heard that one yet. I mean, that's a really bad idea. You know, folks listening, don't spend money before you don't have it.
Yeah.
Exactly. But first of all, that we have to point out that predictions of holiday sales are pretty much useless. One year they're on, the other year they're wildly off, so don't get too excited one way or the other.
And they're always up from the year before. The question is how much?
Yeah, exactly. Well, almost always up.
Almost.
You're
right. We had the meltdown. We've done the meltdown.
But here, what I do like, though, is if you look at a chart of retail sales in store, you know, the numbers have been really ugly in recent years.
Yeah.
This year it looks like down maybe 1%, and that's kind of the new up. Because online is growing so fast, if you can just lose 1% in the store, that's actually not bad.
Yeah. You know what's not bad? All the world's markets. Suddenly there was a sort of a nirvana moment on Friday. I'm not over-analyzing this, but we've seen the U.S. lead the world. And it's not as if we're still not leading the world, but others are playing catch-up or could. And that's your argument.
This is a very important dynamic that people have really been missing over maybe the recent decade. You know, year after year in this bull market, it was only the U.S. or the U.S. and a few other small markets. And, you know, Europe went into recessions while we were recovering. Japan had a recession while we were recovering. And now, finally, they're growing again. And this year, you know, everyone thinks how great the U.S. market is doing. We're one of the laggards. Right? You know, Europe is doing better. Emerging markets are doing better. So that's a great tailwind.
And a lot of them are not nearly as super valued as ours. In other words, you could argue that they have a lot of room to run, even though people argue you get the tax cut, the multiples change. Our markets are still relatively, you know,
and
affordable.
I mean, very importantly, you know, the FANGs, they may be overvalued, but what they stand for is innovation in the U.S.
You're
marketplace.
talking about the big high technology draws, the Facebooks, Amazons,
Google.
Right.
There are other countries, Europe just doesn't have that. Japan doesn't quite have that yet. So this is still an incredibly powerful market.
But if you want to spread your risk and you think the market here has gotten toppy, there's nothing wrong with some of these global.
I've been saying this for years. They're so much cheaper overseas that it really is time. Even Jack Bogle, who always said, oh, just buy American, you'll get exposure. You know, Coca-Cola sells a lot of Coke overseas. Even he's saying now it's been such a great run for U.S. stocks. Maybe it's time to go overseas.
But he play an index off of that.
Of course.
Right. Yeah, exactly. All right. Thank you very, very much.